We are back with the Widowmaker. And what is the Widowmaker, pray tell? And we have a lot of dragon attacks as well, but the Widowmaker is using 2 or 3 golems, but typically 3 golem push. Now you're doing a stone go bow drag. I call it the Widowmaker because the Widowmaker himself, he was a player who'd been using it quite a bit, and it's very powerful. Now on these anti-Lalo bases where they're all together like this, you can use a huge kill squad, and on the back end, all you have to do is trinkle in your dragons, and they circle around the base, or circle around the perimeter, and get the job done. Now the biggest thing about you before putting your dragons in, make sure you figure out where to put the funnel. Now again, using the 3 golem approach, it's going to take down over half the base, easy. Just because you're using all your spells on the kill squad, that means it's going to keep up your bowlers, it's going to keep up all of your healers, and I mean all of your healers, all of your some of your golems, some of your bowlers with the heal spell, I should say. And he is showing us how it's done. Now, Leroy himself, again, you want to make sure you funnel with the dragons. Now, the biggest thing here is if the dragons end up circling around the outside trash buildings, that's not good. You want the dragons to kind of push in just a little bit to take down the defenses, so you need to make sure you either funnel with archers, minions, wizard towers, baby dragon, or just a plain out dragon. That way it'll ensure that they will not circle completely and they'll get the job done. Now Leroy's showing us how it's done on this attack. Now this is a very useful strategy against those anti-Lalo bases where all the air defenses are on one side, and he's just showing us how it's done. Look at that. Only the thing last thing up is the Expo, but he's got 3 dragons for it, so it's going to go down very nicely indeed. And look at that, 3-star. Using Widowmaker. Get on out there. Now, what are some variations of the Widowmaker, or even just some other dragon attacks? Stick around. We're going to watch quite a few dragon attacks here. They're definitely back in style at Town Hall 10. Now, here's another anti-Lalo base in the sense all air defenses are on one side. It's a very common base design. This time using a queen walk. Looks like she's going to queen walk from the 6 o'clock side all the way, trying to push her towards up here to the north. Now, why wouldn't you start her at, say, 3 o'clock? Well, you could start her at 3 o'clock if you wanted, but he chose not to do that. I think this was a fresh hit. That is why he probably lured out the CC, just in case it was, so the queen could handle it instead of using the dragons to handle it. But because there's a jump spell coming up, we're going to speed up the queen walk just a little bit. Starting on this side will ensure that she's taking down the queen. Now, do you always have to take down a queen when you're using dragons? No, because dragons can take down the queen. They can. Even if you don't have a spell, but they can certainly take down the queen. It's kind of just depends on kind of your strategy. But you notice here, you're wondering, how is he going to get to the 12 o'clock? Well, he brought a jump spell. Now, if you did not bring a jump spell here and just want to do a queen walk and say dragon the rest, instead of kind of bring a kill squad, you could do that. I mean, there's many variations. I do like using bowlers at Town Hall 9. I think they get so much value at Town Hall 9. It's pretty unheard of. Pretty craziness. And you don't even need a heal spell because the healers, as they join up with the kill squad, they're going to lock on. They're going to drift away from the queen and go to some bowlers, or go to the golem or the king or something like that. So again, look at that. Look at this brilliant strategy. Started at 6, understood he was going to path all the way to 12. Now, if you were just going to do a queen walk, again, you could have started at 3, or on this side, done the same sort of thing, just pushed in with the queen and then added more dragons instead of bowlers and golem. So there's different strategies. I think that could have worked as well. But again, bowlers, man. Bowlers. If you don't have bowlers in your clan, maybe you're in a clan that can't produce bowlers, you're all Town Hall 8s or something, or Town Hall 9s, then, you could just do a queen walk. You don't have to bring the bowlers. You could bring a golem in front and maybe some Valkyries behind. I mean, that could do a similar job. They're not quite as good, but very dominating attack from ASAP. Sila showing us how it's done. And, yeah. See, a skilled attacker knows how to enter a base, and how to get the job done. But we're going to move right along because I have another dragon attack from Alpha himself. Now, again, dragons are on the A-list, baby. This time, more of a mass dragon using 3 lightning spells. Now, if you were not aware, I had videos before. If you have 2 air defenses certainly touching each other, but even if they're 1 space apart, you can do 3 lightning spells and an earthquake, and it takes him down. But because these are touching, he doesn't even need an earthquake. He can use 3 lightning spells, and the 2 air defenses will drop. And he's going to get to the other air defenses by using his king, his queen, and the final one, he's got loons to take it down as well. So with the king, I'm going to be able to create a funnel. He used funnel up here for army camp and wizards. That means the queen will go from the town hall. She'll go to the mortar, gold mine, and with her ability, she will be able to take out that 3rd air defense. So very nice strategy. If you see that base design flaw as far as part of the defender, have at it. Go for it. Make sure you get the job done. Again, you don't have to worry about the CC in this. He did bring a poison, but because dragons can take care of CC units very well, the one thing that causes dragons a little mishap are witches. The skeleton spells of the witches can, or the skellies of the witches can distract the dragons quite a bit. But because this is more of a mass dragon attack at Town Hall 9, which I used to do if you go back and watch my previous videos, like over a year and a half ago, I would only use dragons because I rushed early on in this in Clash of Clans when I didn't know anything, and I just wanted to play with dragons because dragons are like so fun. They are totally fun. Dragons are super fun to use, and that is what is he doing here. He's got on the final air defense, he brought in the Hound, and he's bringing in loons to help the dragons as well. It's always important if you can to bring loons and drop those loons down if you have the space as the archer towers are tanking for on the dragons. So the dragons are tanking, you put the archer towers, and I'm going to speed this up because he's got that Hound still up, tanking for the loons. Very nice attack. And yeah, Alpha showing us that you can take down these anti-Lalo bases. Now, honestly, guys, I am not the biggest fan of the all air defenses on one side on the Town Hall 9. I don't like that. I know I see it all the time, but it's not my favorite base design. I know I'm not a Town Hall 9 base builder, but just to be aware, I would prefer a base more like this, where you have air defenses spread out than all air defenses together. Now, of course, doesn't mean that you're going to defend. I mean, you're going to get 3-star at these upper leagues. I mean, upper clans. But I think they just do a better job at defending. Personally, from my personal experience, they do. But again, maybe you have a different thought process about it, and that's fine. If you do, if you think otherwise, then let me know. What kind of Town Hall 9 base designs do you prefer, or the easiest? I just feel like the all air defenses on one side, you can use a lot of strategies on it. You could either Gobo Ho the opposite end, or Gobo Drag or Widowmaker, one of the ends as well. It gives you different options. Anyways, Weddy showing us that yes, you can use King and Queen Suicide Heroes to take down 2 air defenses. And on the back end, he's just gonna, or the rest of the base, he's just gonna flat out dragon this. Again, you want to make sure you push the dragon to the core. He did try to clear out some of these huts on the outside. He put a dragon on at 9 o'clock. Look at that dragon. See, it's gonna help push the main dragons inside the base. And on the back end, he has air defenses to clear the air defenses. He's going to be using a Hound and loons. So just be aware that if you need to clear these kind of back-end air defenses, you can use Hound Loon action. Now, quite a bit of stuff here at 12 o'clock. This looks like a fresh hit. I don't know. It didn't seem like he knew where the Teslas were. That's why he put the Rage there. I think he was probably going to plan to maybe the Rage... maybe to rage both dragon sets, but the air defense did not drop because a lot of defense. He had air traps at 12. He had a Tesla farm at 12. It almost caused serious troubles to him, but Weddy was like, you know what? It doesn't matter. I can get the job done. Now, the reason why, if you can save loons for the back end, try. You see how this one archer tower easily can kill so many dragons. Look, Imagine these dragons all shifted around. Fortunately, this dragon went to the archer tower. But look, say it didn't. I think it would have been a fail. Just because the dragons would have gone to the army camp, to the builder hut, then they would have gone to the dark elixir, and I think that one archer tower definitely would have killed all of his dragons. So if you can, try to spot out where you can maybe put a loon, just one loon or two loons for some back-end archer towers if they're going to be difficult to get to with your dragons. Sometimes you won't have the camp space for it, I understand that, but just be aware that one archer tower can cause serious harm. And there you go, Weddy with a nice 3-star attack. And there you go, my friends. Dragons at Town Hall 9 are back in style. They're very useful, and hopefully you enjoy something. Hopefully you like it. Appreciate you stopping by. I'll see you next time. Halo.